all in the second Symposium Series and the third session of WCSF's series on cyber crimes and issues pursuant to international laws. Today's session will be covering the topic cyber crimes against federal and state government and shall be conducted by Honorable Dr. Hossam Elshenkari. This symposium series has been organized in the collaboration with SCC Online, and World Cybersecurity Forum, WCSF, is an internationally renowned cyber consultancy and web community founded in 2019. It aims at improving cybersecurity awareness and acts as a source of techno-legal information for professionals, students, and teenagers around the world. On 1st of April 2020, WCSF launched Cybercrime Awareness 2020 program, which is a global initiative to support emerging trends in cyber law, cybercrime, and cybersecurity. Increasing the level of cyber awareness through education and training can be an effective way to encourage the adoption of security tools, which leads to a safer use of technology. The objective of the present symposium series is to educate people about the importance of emerging cybercrimes and information technology in the digital age. And SCC Online is brought to you by Eastern Book Company, a publishing house of international repute and an acknowledged leader in the field of law publishing in India for more than 75 years. EBC publishes a wide range of legal commentaries, students' texts, law reports, and digests, and its products include pioneering work both in print and electronic media. Using the finest of technological innovations, they pioneered law information databases for making law easily accessible in the electronic medium. This has appeared in a revolutionary form in the search program in the electronic medium as SCC's online case finder. The information database and the search program is a proven source for quick retrieval of case law precedents of the Supreme Court of India. For 75 years, SCC Online has been creating authentic and reliable information, legal commentaries, statutory law, and law reports. Supreme Court Cases is the most cited law report by the Supreme Court of India. All the content is there in one place, whether it's Indian, foreign, or international. SCC Online consists of superior search capabilities and the 4 million documents. Their legal research tool provides top quality information with an interface which makes research a quicker and effective process. The second symposium series on cybercrimes and issues pursuant to international laws was founded on the main idea of providing a practical approach in terms of emerging cybercrimes and cybersecurity laws on international level. As technology is evolving rapidly, so human beings are, and during this expedition, all are facing a lot of obstacles in all senses. This series aims to kindle the society in context to the crimes and various security issues they have faced to date. The symposium evaluates the international impetus of the law of reform in combating cybercrime. It classifies actions of international harmonization into professional, regional, multinational, and global actions, summarizes the major concerns of these actions, and concludes the influence of the Convention on Cybercrime on state and international levels of legal countermeasure. The series also points out the limitations of the previous actions and anticipates the United Nations to play a more important role. Also, it will be more inclined towards the conclusive part where our honorable guests will try to give preventive measures regarding the same. This symposium includes 5 sessions, and today we are introducing our third session on the topic Cyber Crimes Against Federal and State Government. It shall be conducted by Dr. Hossam Elshenkari, who is an associate professor in criminal investigation, team of Head of Police Management and Social Sciences section under Dubai Police Academy. He also served as the head of Cyber Crimes Criminal Investigation Department in Ministry of Interior in Egypt for approximately 3 years. He is also a member in the official technical committee for preparing the cyber crimes law and preparing the personal data protection laws in Egypt. He has published a book on cyber children exploitation and has completed a number of research papers in the field of cyber crimes. I welcome you, sir, and the floor is now open to you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for the introduction. I appreciate it. I think no need to introduce myself. So you did the best, more than me. But in briefly, as he said that I'm in Police Academy, Dubai Police Academy. I'm associate of a professor. My background career is a police officer. I retired as a brigadier. The last job I did for more than 3 years was working in the cybercrime investigation department. So I have a practical background on that field we are talking about today. So I will talk about a specific field. It's more than 50, 60, maybe 70% of the important part of the cyber crimes, which is against the government and states. So I have a small presentation. I will be glad to present it. So let me share it on the screen. I think it's now you can see it now. So the topic is cybercrimes against federal and state government, terrorism and propaganda and cyber war. The first issue, we will define what is the cybercrimes against government. And after that, we will go through these crimes. Let's talk about it. When a cybercrime against the government committed, it is considered an attack on that nation's sovereignty. Cybercrimes against the government include cyber terrorism, hacking, cyber warfare, and pirates software. And these big crimes will include or include small, or kinds of crime methods of criminal or crimes. Cybercrimes against government as a tree I did. Cyber terrorism, software piracy, cyber attack, rumors against government, cyber war, hacking, and I mean rumors against government because rumors could be against government or could be for any other purpose. So talking about the famous people, something like that. But we are here talking about against the government, which reflected, roots reflected. Violence between people and the police and the authorities, and which reflect also unrest in many countries, and we can see or we saw the unrest, violence or unrest situation in the U.S. and Europe after misconduct with between police and someone in the street, which results that he died. First, we will talk about the cyber terrorism, and cyber terrorism is the main umbrella of most of the cyber activities against government. So definition of the cyber terrorist, that using the internet to conduct violent acts lead to threaten loss of life or significant bodily harm in order to achieve political or ideological gain through threat or intimidation. So properties of the cyber terrorism. Cyberterrorism can be considered as a new technological tool for traditional terrorism. Also, it's a transactional crimes. Also, it's able to influence countries and societies regardless of the geographical location of terrorists. Also, its main goal is to attract attention, create fear among civilians, and force governments to adopt unwanted policies. It differs from cybercrime because it targets people, property, or infrastructure, causing various damages that may amount to death, bodily injury, explosions, or severe economic losses. Patterns of cyber terrorism, we can see that there is seven main patterns: exchanging assignments and disseminating, creating terrorist websites, destroying websites or digital data and information systems, spreading rumors, propaganda, software piracy, economic disruption. The first one, exchanging assignment and disseminating, this is issues. This is issue I touched it already while I was working in the field. So they were making groups online, closing groups, closing email groups, or closing peer-to-peer chatting between the elements of the terrorist group, and they exchange information how to prepare an explosive to make a terrorist operation in anywhere. So we caught many of these chats, many of these emails, even the financing, the amount, the deal happened on the internet, and we caught many groups doing that, and we caught a lot of documents, e-documents, of course, on these emails. So they plan what they will do as a strategy to make unrest in the country, to be developed to domestic violence, and then they can make something, some problems in the security situation in the country they targeted. So terrorists use the internet to spread their extremist idea, spread terror, and terrify people, including, this is the way they do it, encrypted messages, maybe by using VPN, by using deep web, by using proxies, a lot of ways, by using peer-to-peer applications, which is very encrypted, and they cannot, the authorities cannot monitor all these softwares or these applications. Also collecting terrorist information, planning and coordination of terrorist operation. And as I said to you, we touched that on the ground, in fact. Obtaining financing, attracting youth and recruiting terrorists, and I will tell you how they do it practically. Electronic terrorist training, they can train their elements, the one who will wear the explosive belt and explode some any place like church, like mosque, like something, how they make a brainwashing, and then they push him to do the job. Issuance of electronic data, creating terrorist websites. How they do it? Goals of terrorist groups is creating sites or broadcast. Why they are doing that? The goal is broadcast their stray thoughts, advocating to their deviant principles, demonstrate the strength of the terrorist organization, and intellectual mobilization, and recruitment of new terrorists, giving instructions and initiating electronic training by teaching the methods and means that help in carrying out terrorist attacks. Electronic terrorist sites have been established to show how to manufacture bombs, explosives, and lethal chemical weapons, and to explain ways to hack emails, how to hack and destroy websites, access blocked website sites, and to teach virus propagation methods. Tourist recruitment websites usually feature is creative, artistic form in design and craftsmanship in dividing subjects in images and contents, providing services to bypass the blocking of websites and send them to members, continuous updating of content, attracting writers with their influence and publishing respected scholars to raise the level of trust, coordination between them to publish their statements and ideas. And and each of us knows that the media and the websites and lately the deep web is the best field for them to exchange or to do their activities because of the anonymity. But now there is a development in technical issues, of technical ways to monitor and observe what they are doing and detect the IP addresses or the digital identity to track them and find them and then arrest them. Nowadays, and I will tell you about the researchers happening now. A lot of companies doing many applications. These applications, you can use it with artificial intelligence. It can follow and track and classify the information about these groups. You can track them. You can detect their activities. You can collect criminal or e-evidences against them. Making their heroes of these forums and supporting them, providing audiovisual materials, books to applicants quickly, providing technical advice to help surfers who is surfing online, hide their identity and digital fingerprints online, and this is now under research to go through it or to overlap these challenges. The distribution of roles in management of sites for people with distinguished ability and belonging to different countries, providing cultural helpful options such as book download services. The third kind is destroying website and data. This is like attacks. Terrorist organizations carry out terrorist attacks through the information network with the intention of destroying websites, electronic data and information systems, and damaging and destroying the information infrastructure. Terrorist attacks in the information age often target three basic goals: military, political, economic goals. They are on top of which are military command and control centers. After that, utility institutions, after these three utility institutions, such as electricity and water institutions, after that, banks, financial markets, this is to subordinate the will of the people and community. The process of penetration is carried out by leaking the main data and codes of the internet programs. It could happen from anywhere without need hacker to show up because the geographical dimension has no importance in limiting data breaches. A large proportion of the breaches remain undiscovered due to the complexity of computer operating systems and information networks. Number 4, propaganda. And this is the main way they are using to achieve their goals, and the main purpose they are want to be more developed to do it, because it's it's achieving the goals or all goals they want to achieve. So terrorists are use the internet to spread their. Come again? Okay. Terrorists use the internet to spread their propaganda, multimedia expressions that carry ideological expressions or practical instructions or provide explanation about terrorist activities, and they use recruitment, pushing towards radicalism, incitements to terrorism. The first one, recruitment, how they recruit people online. Each individual recruitment story is different because it depends on the target. They targeted mostly the youth, but it's different from one to one according to his environment, his habits, what he likes, what he's looking for. So they doing from ground. What I'm saying, I will tell you about theoretical, but from ground, they are study according to the confessors of them. They are study his social network account, like Facebook, like Twitter, like Instagram, and find out what's the personality they are dealing with, and then they give him or her something related to what they or she he or she looking for or looking to be, like the way to be more obligant with religion and more religious, something like that. And then they can ask him to come in peer-to-peer conversation, and then they make brainwashing, and then he will be ready or she will be ready to do what they are doing. They want to do by them, like wearing explosive belt or put explosives in somewhere or prepare explosives or kill someone or carrying a gun or something like that. They will be ready to do that because they brainwash. They wash their brains, and then they make him happy to kill himself because he will go to the paradise after that, and he will enjoy with a lot of things in the paradise, and he will be in the highest place in the paradise, something like that. So it depends on the one, because there is someone want money, they will give him money to do it. Someone else want to be close to religious, they will give him the license to be a religious man. They are doing the job with different ways according to the victim. They study him very well, and then they come to him very slowly and very curious till he's very obeyable to the one who's the recruiter, and then he will be his master or he will be his prince. He can order him and he will obey. So this recruiting we can divide it to 5 phases. The first one, awareness phase, when an individual has the cause or movement brought to their attention. The second one, identification phase, when an individual begins to identify with the ideological of a group and develops a sense of belonging. The third one, engagement phase, when the individual begins to engage in the political discourse. They start communicating and corresponding on the issues, often using digital technology. Reinforcement phase, the point at which the individual feels validated and taps into virtual collective of like-minded thinking. This, according to this is an accelerator of radical ideology. Action phase, the last one, when the individual's behavior begins to change and their thoughts are translated into action and other efforts. Radicalism. Radicalization refers to a process of indoctrination that often accompanies the transformation of recruits into individuals determined to act with violence based on extremist ideologies. The process of radicalization often involves the use of propaganda, whether communicated in person or via the internet over time. The length of time and the effectiveness of the propaganda and other persuasive means employed vary depending on individual circumstances and relationships. The third, incitement. While propaganda is not generally prohibited, the use of propaganda by terrorists to incite acts of terrorism is considered unlawful. The internet provides an abundance of material and opportunities to download, edit, and distribute content that may be considered unlawful, glorification of or provocation to acts of terrorism. Rumors, the second one. The fifth one. Online rumors can start over email, blogs, cyber news, and social networks such as Facebook, and this is the main one. Also Twitter, Instagram, and we can notice that the rumors is affecting the policies of the governments, and the rumors, people, according to the main the one who gives the rumor use it affected, because when you use the Facebook in a community always using the Facebook, so it will affect everybody. Maybe you can find demonstration, a wide demonstration in the whole country because of a rumor. Such a rumor, such as criminal activities, such as unrest situation, like the demonstration in U.S. recently because of George Floyd. Everybody gone to street, everybody gone to shops to steal and demonstrate on the street. How they know? They know by the Facebook, by the social media. They know first by rumors. Everybody is on the street, so everybody will go to the street to find out who is on the street. Actually, you will find everybody on the street, so it's a wide demonstration. So when they find everybody beside them, they will be they will assure the rumor that it's happening already, so let's stay. So there is a lot of strategies of rumors, and what's the target of the rumor, and then the authorities should deal with it, and what the intention of the one who of the criminal who did that, or it's his intention to make unrest and make violence, domestic violence, and a wide range. So should be punished according to what his intention by the law. Internet allowed audience to spread rumors to facilitate their transmission, even though there was little evidence to support them, and rumors were later proven incorrect. Information spread fast within internet. Cyber journalists who accidentally post rumors and later realize that they were wrong can remove it, but have no way to knowing who else used them as a source when posting news. So when you put a rumor on the internet, you are not the only one who can spread it or can transfer it to another one. There is another groups, another wide pages can take it and like it and then reshare it. Then it will be out of your hands to control it again. So it's like a bullet. When you press the trigger, then you cannot control it. After that, you cannot do anything for it. Just press the trigger, and then you will find the result maybe more widely than you even dream. The websites became one of the means of spreading rumors. This rumor circulated, especially in shade of the large numbers that use social media. The social as well as the electronic rumor is distinguished. It is not subject to modification or change as the case in the rumors of the traditional nature outside sites. This is like a plan to what rumors divided into, maybe text, maybe video, maybe pictures, and it will be collected, and that data will be divided into two or be will be on two operations or two things can do. Rumors detection, the authorities can detect the rumors and study and analysis. After detection, study and analysis the rumors by veracity of rumor, individual opinion, source of propagation, detection time, and then rumor influence, minimization. This is the action should or the authorities doing, try to minimize the effect of the rumor by dealing with each of the stage of the detection. After that, we will talk about software piracy. It's affecting the government because it's affecting the economic. As we said, this is one of the field of cyber terrorism when affecting economics, so such as a criminal group or a terrorist criminal group. They make agreement or they got directive from outside the country to do something very small, and you cannot realize, or you will not realize it. They will collect the basic goods like tomato, like beans, like rice, something like that, and they collect it from the market with higher price from all buyers, and then they will keep it and resell it with double or triple price. So a lot of people will not be able to eat. It will, it will deflect demonstration, a wide demonstration in the country. Can you see this is how they plan it? So this is something affecting the economic, because it's it will tripleize the price of the main goods or main food for the community in any country. So it will affect the security or the image of the authority in the country. So it will reflect, demonstrations, reflect violence, domestic violence, wide domestic violence, something like that. So it caught before it's going on ground on implementing. So policies happened after finding that plan to spread a lot of food, everybody with a low price, to overlap the plan and to make it fair. This is something from reality. So what's software piracy? We will talk about the piracy. When you get a computer software like Windows, like Mac, like OS, something like that, and make copies and make copies and to sell it to some people, and then the company will lose. If the company is in your country, we are talking about the Windows. So if we talking about applications, like any application, a lot of employees do the application when waiting for the income of selling it. Then someone get it and then make a copies and spread it with low price or with for free on the internet. Then these employees will get nothing, and the company will close, and these guys will go to home without work. So it will affect, if it is spreaded in some country, it will affect the economic and also the working power in the country. Maybe it will reflect violence, maybe it will reflect unrest in the country. So it's very important in their plans. And what I'm saying is reality. That's the way they planning. Software piracy doesn't require a hacker or a skilled coder. Anyone can do it. Any normal person with a computer can become a software pirate if they don't know about the software laws, or they know, maybe they know, but they are doing it. With such a widespread impact, it's important to understand what software piracy is and the dangers of it presents. Seventh, economic disruption. The WannaCry, which is spreaded, and Petya cyber attack masquerading as ransomware caused large-scale disruptions in Ukraine and a lot of countries. Even during the COVID-19, ransomware spreaded and encrypted the hospital records in Malaysia and I think Philippines also. It's according to the Interpol and Europol statements, reports. They said that they giving support during the COVID-19 to solve this problem because they encrypted all files for patients, and then the disaster become worse. These attacks are also categorized as cyber terrorism, especially financial crimes, because they affect companies and groups. Cyber terrorism target military, as we said, target military systems, target power and water generating stations, target the economic infrastructure, targeting transportation system, targeting communication systems, and it will be spreaded by the implementation of the IoT, Internet of Things, in the cars, metro, trains. You can imagine if they get control on the airplane or metro or trains, and then will be crash. A lot of people died by the information systems. Some intergovernmental and human rights mechanisms have expressed the doubt that the concept of glorification and of terrorism is significantly narrow and precise to serve as a basis for criminal sanctions, complying with the requirements of the principle of legality and the permissible limitations of the right to freedom to expression, as enshrined in Article 15 to 19 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. We will go after that to the cyber war, and we will try to, make a differentiation between the cyber war and cyber terrorism. It's similar in some methods of crime, and it's different for the targets and the criminals. The criminals, or the one who do it, is the countries, another countries, the enemies. But the cyber terrorism is a terrorists. So it's different because of the one who committed. This is organizations, this is countries, governments do it against another government. But the terrorism is terrorist groups against government to achieve political issues, but the other one to weakness the power of the country, maybe to attack them, maybe to weaken them, to be, to achieve some decisions in economic, in military, in something like that, or to revenge, like what we saw in between two countries when they do something terrorist, and then the other country make a cyber attack on their defensive equipments and defensive system. They destroy it and make a lot of expenses, a lot of losses, and the this infrastructure. The major disruptions to critical infrastructure, however, this is the least likely outcome. Attacking a nation online will have extreme consequences to the attacker, as well as collateral global damage. No nation, including both public and private infrastructure, is immune from attack. Cyber warfare occurs continuously across cyberspace connections, resulting in disruptions, websites, defacement, theft of national defense information, and intellectual property theft. As is cyber spies outwit in stealing defense secrets and walking away with industrial technology useful and in narrowing industrial and military gaps. Some experts believe that such crimes have cost hundreds of billions of dollars, while some of this is related to criminal activity, such of it is attributable to espionage. Cyber espionage, an act of gaining unauthorized network or system access, usually to obtain the sensitive data of a government or military infrastructure using proxy servers or another ways. This notorious practice is an attempt to damage or misuse compromised data, which usually refers to political, economic, and economic or military data. Denial of service attack. Denial of service attack, like they called it DDoS attack. It is to make a machine or a network resource unavailable to its users. Like we have a lot of examples, and it's happening maybe daily. But the most severe one, I will explain it. I will talk about it. It's the one who attacked the Aramco petroleum company in Saudi Arabia, and the other one, and it's before it. It's Estonia cyber attack, which classified as the most severe cyber attack in the history. Cyber DDoS attack is to make a machine or network resource unavailable to its users. Perpetrators of DDoS attacks typically target sites or services hosted on high-profile web service, such as banks, credit card payment gateways, and root name servers. DDoS attacks often leverage internet-connected services with vulnerable security measures to carry out these large-scale attacks. DDoS attacks not limited to computer-based methods, as strategic physical attacks against infrastructure can be just as devastating. For example, cutting undersea communication cables may severely cripple some regions and countries with regards to their information warfare ability. Cyber war motivation. There are, as we said, the motivation of cyber war is to push government or a nation to obey the policies or obey the directives of another country, or to retreat of a decision they did it. So let's talk about it. There is a number of reasons nations under attack offensive cyber operations. States take cyber warfare seriously as they are viewed as an attractive activity by many nations in times of war and peace. Cyber offensive operations can cripple whole economics, change political views, agitate conflicts within or among states, reduce states' military efficiency, equalize the capacities of high-tech nations to that of low-tech nations, like what happened in Estonia, and use access to their critical infrastructures to blackmail them. Yes, someone raise hand. Okay. What is this cyber? Okay. What's the cyber war weapons? What's the weapons? What's the tools? The tools of destruction used in cyber attacks do bear some resemblance to weapons commonly used in other criminal attacks, in that they incur the same effect. For example, botnets that exists to launch distributed denial of service attacks target critical service and cripple entities, or serve as a diversion from other malicious cyber activities. Spear phishing and social engineering too are techniques also deployed in order to get cyber criminals closer to the targeted systems. Threats from the inside pose a significant risk for organizations hoping to safeguard their system against intruders. Through thought are highly potent as far as hackers are connected, allowed hackers to directly expose a network to a threat, and or allow a group to steal sensitive data. Techniques adopted by the cyber terrorists at hacking, password sniffing, computer viruses, spam messages. Let's talk about the password sniffing and spam messages and computer viruses. We also know that it's a lot of kinds, and it depends on the information system what we what the hackers or the terrorists want to hack. And hacking it a lot of ways to hack the systems, and the intentions, it depends on the intention of the hacker. If the intention is to get money, it will not be terrorist or terrorism. If the intention is to make spread of ideological thoughts, or make a push on government to be or to be like a weak government and to spread domestic violence in the country, it will be considered as terrorism. And the laws in each countries is criminalize all these activities according to the higher umbrella of the United Nations. There is an office caring, or his job is to deal with the cyber terrorism or cyber terrorism activities, how to coordinate between countries to face these crimes, because it affected everybody. There is a lot of convention related on that. I will tell you about the Estonia cyber attack and what happened after that, because it becomes a cyber war, not cyber terrorism, and what the United Nations make and what is Tallinn committee, and what the rules, and the it becomes like a law to organize, like an international humanitarian law, to organize the use of the cyber force in wars, and it organized also the casualties, and what should do and what should target, and a lot of things we will talk about. So the first tool is password sniffing. Cyber terrorists may use password sniff to complete their cyber attack on different countries and organization to see their downfall and control their systems. The password sniffer is programming uses to screen, organize, and in the meantime catch all the password that passes the system connector. Spam email. Spam can indeed be regarded as terrorism, though some regard it as a lighter form of terrorism, while others equate spammers to real-world terrorists, holding at ransom some close to 900 million internet users is something that can be equated to terrorism in every sort. Apart from costing them money and time, they also have the potential to create havoc with lives, either in the form of directly influencing them by fraudulent practices or indirectly by hampering proper functioning of caregivers, including physicians and other medical professionals. We will talk about cyber attack. Cyber attack as a third tool refer to the deliberate exploitation of computer networks to launch attacks. Such attacks indeed intended to disrupt the targets such as computer systems, servers, or infrastructures using hacking threat technologies, viruses, malware, flooding of spam emails, flooding of requests on a site, a website, or something like that. We will talk about two examples, like the first one, Aramco cyber attacks as case study of cyber terrorism. The virus, the summary of it, the virus used for cyber warfare against Saudi Aramco. This virus, they recognize it as Shamaun. It's a very dangerous virus. A group named Cutting Sword of Justice claimed responsibility for attacking 35,000 Saudi Aramco workstations, causing the company to spend more than a week restoring their services. The group indicates that the Shamaun virus had been used in the attack. Computer systems were knocked offline by an identified computer virus, with some security experts attributing the damage to Shamaun. It was later described as the biggest hack in the history. Aramco cyber attack. The Aramco is biggest oil producer in the world. More than 50,000 employees, revenue more than 300 billion US dollars. In August 2012, had a cybersecurity incident. Computers directly tied to oil production were compromised. Shamaun virus. 30,000 workstations were affected. As we said, the company spent 1 week to restore services. After the incident, Aramco tightened its security policies, not only in the core side, but in the industrial systems. The timeline of the attack during 2012, targeted phishing attack, data known. The first step. The second, internal Saudi Aramco PC used as proxy by attackers, date unknown. They didn't indicate the date this step happened. The third, first indicators of attack was in August 2012. The fourth, IT Windows-based Saudi Aramco PCs, more than 35,000 began shutting down. And for your information, they did the last shutting down and the last two steps during the feast of the Muslim people. So they were in a vacation for 5 days. Please the voice, because a lot of noise, I cannot speak. IT Windows-based Saudi Arabia, as we said, so it was down and being wiped all information. You can imagine 35,000 stations with all operations around the world, because it's trading, it's exporting all the petroleum components to the whole world. So everything stopped, everything was in a mess. All records, all files is electronic, so it wiped. They have no records. They don't know what's their obligations, what they will do. So it's become a mess in the whole world, not only in Saudi Arabia. You can imagine also the loss of money and loss of time they suffered from. Saudi Aramco disconnected from the world by 15 August. The company is disconnected from the whole world. Estonia cyber attack. It was on April 27, impact Estonia's government, financial and media online services were knocked offline. On 2007, Estonian cyber attacks happened. Significant cyber attacks on Estonian information infrastructure lasted 22 days between April and May. It happened for 22 days, coincided with protests voting by Russian ethnic minority in Estonia and economic sanctions by Russian government, triggered by Estonian government decision to relocate a Soviet area monument to a great patriotic war away from central Tallinn. You can observe that Tallinn. This is the reason. The statue of Tallinn. This is the reason of the cyber attack, and the committee which established by the UN after that to give or to put rules to avoid the disasters of the or avoid the losses of the cyber attacks and organize it according to the law is called Tallinn Committee. So entailed post significant DDoS attacks on Estonian public and private sector information infrastructure and defacement of Estonian government websites. Everything is collapsed, depicted by Russian government as a grassroots activism for which is not responsible and had no control. Despite some circumstantial evidence, IP addresses for launching attacks, dissemination of device on how to conduct DDoS attacks, full extent of official Russian complexity remains controversial and contested. So this is the end of the presentation, but also I want to tell you about this Tallinn committee. This committee is resulted or established by the UN to recover the the effects of the cyber attack. It was very disastrous. It affected the hospitals, affected critical infrastructure of the country. So it was a big disaster if it is not organized. So it will be a very serious thing. So they make rules. It consists of I think 100 rules. 100. It organized everything, how to engagement in conflict, cyber conflict, what is allowed to attack, what is not allowed to attack, what's the casualties, how to deal with casualties, because it's when it's attack the hospitals and infrastructure, it will lead casualties in reality. A lot of people will die. So how to deal with consumptions, how to deal with self-defense, and what's the rules of self-defense. It's organize a lot of rules. We cannot now explain it, but it's very important to know, because it's the way to deal with these cyber attacks in the future. About the cyber terrorism, there is a lot of conventions, beginning with the Budapest Convention in 2001, and not beginning, before that, the United Nations put a lot of organizations, put an office to deal with these crimes, to reduce the effects of it, and also to organize it. So I want to thank you for listening. I hope that I give the information, because it's a wide subject. I try to, collect the main ideas of the kinds of crimes which targeted the government, but most of laws in the world is focused on the how to punish the criminals on that, and describe the criminal activities, and most of the penalties is execution and prison forever, or for the whole life. So thank you, and I welcome any questions.
For such an enthralling and enriching experience. We shall now be moving towards the question and answer session, but due to paucity of time, we won't be entertaining any fresh questions, and we would only be considering the sent to us. The first question is, every year we have been seeing the news of hacking our defense sites as well as our administration sites that are controlled by the government. So is there any way to stop these cyber attacks? Even though we have CERT, we are unable to resolve these issues permanently.
Okay, because of the voice is coming and going, I couldn't recognize it. If it is written, can I get it in right way?
A particular selection of a message isn't available, so the whole chat is being copied. I can repeat the question for you if that's good.
I got the question now. Now it's clear for me. Okay, I can tell you that each government working on that, trying to avoid these attacks by making firewalls and making deception ways, a lot of technical issues, a lot of investigation, a lot of criminal issues, anti-criminal issues, like monitoring these websites, undercover working by police and by intelligence, a lot of things to prevent what you want to prevent it by CERT. CERT can make the issue of or the issues of technical issues, but and they can deal with the problem after happened, and they can um, uh, um, catch the criminal IP or criminal identity by collaboration with other countries, other security institutions, security agencies. But preventing, there is no preventing in crimes, even on ground. You cannot prevent crimes permanently. So we develop every methods of every strategies, all strategies of confronting the criminal activities. But we are in a race. All intelligence and security or police or military entities is in a race with the criminals. They try to catch them, and the criminals try to escape. Even in the cyber attacks on the government, it will be, highly funded. We don't know from whom. So they has a lot of capabilities, a lot of fund, a lot of resources, a lot of high technical issues, high technical ways to attack and hide. All technical companies developed softwares or applications to detect these criminals, but they also has their ways, their tools to deal with these new applications. Some of them prevented, some of them caught, some of them can be detected, but nobody can prevent crime, even the criminal crime. So I think it's impossible to prevent, but we try to minimize it, to reduce the way, to find a way to protect the infrastructure by a lot of technical ways, a lot of police strategies, a lot of intelligence strategies. I cannot talk about it all because it's very wide, but try to minimize it, try to prevent, try to catch the criminals after they committed the crimes, and then this is the job of the authorities. They cannot prevent it permanently. Thank you.
And the second and the last question for the day, Doctor, is that what are your views assembling international task force for combating terrorism, cyber terrorism, that is?
Really?
Can you write it please down?
I would request everyone to please mute themselves.
Someone is talking. Can you write it down, please? Can you write it down? Do you hear me?
I'll write it down for you. The chat has been disabled by the host.
What can general public awareness of these threats do to prevent these attacks? In their end, is this a question?
There's a question before it also. I would just write it down for you. Meanwhile, if you want to answer this particular question, you can please go ahead.
The question is, can you elaborate the link between money laundering and financing of terrorism? Yeah, this is the second one, I think.
Yes, sir. But you can answer this question. Meanwhile, I'll be sending you another question, and that will be the last question for the day.
I will read it because the voice is, going and coming.
Sure.
Okay. Can you elaborate the link between money laundering and financing of terrorism? I think this topic was a title of a topic with a professor in this conference. But we can say that money laundering and financing of terrorism, financing of terrorism depends on, according to what we saw, it's depending on anonymous resources. This is the first, and I cannot tell something else on that. And drug dealers or drug trade, it's a source of financing. And so also the weapons trade, human trafficking. I think you shocked, everybody shocked. Human trafficking is a source of terrorism. This is with documents. Okay, they sell people to get money. They export drugs to get money, and they get drugs to do the job, and they cooperate with the criminal or the organized crime like mafia and the other organized crimes gangs to do their jobs. They have jobs to do or tasks to do. They cannot do it. They give it to the mafia members to do it, and they give them money. You can imagine this is something according to what observed by the agencies, international agencies. It's not it's not belonging to religion or something like that. No, no, no. No moralities in terrorism. They can do everything and they will play with all means. So they should make money laundering to, and they also do money laundering to find resources for their jobs. Because this topic is related to someone, some of our colleagues here, and it will be a session. Please close the mic, please. Okay. Where is the second one? A lot of questions. I lost it. Financing. From where I can read related to the topic. Which topic? The money laundering and the financing the terrorism. You can write down the title on the Google, and you will find a lot of resources. Many resources. What can general public awareness of these threats do to prevent these attacks in their end? Of course, the awareness will prevent the entrance of the cyber attack, because the cyber attack is coming to the network by a gap in the information system, or a mistake from one of the employees that he used a flash memory infected, or open the internet during using the network. So the viruses or the DDoS will sneak to the system and then will affect it, will destroy it. So we have to raise awareness. We have to know what the methods of crime, or the criminals, what they are doing, how they do it, and then we can avoid the doors which give the way to criminals to attack the information systems.
The last question for the day, Doctor. Okay. Please answer that only, because we are really short on time.
Okay.
I have sent you the question for your perusal.
Views on assembling an international task force to combat cyber terrorism. It's already issued by the UN, by the Interpol, by the Europol. All entities, all security or police intelligence entities in the world is making a very close cooperation to fight this terrorism, because it's affected everybody. Even cyber terrorism affected countries, affected the the public order, the public security, affected people generally. When any operation, any cyber terrorism, any terrorism operation, any cyber attack operation achieve its goals, it will disable hospitals, it will disable cars, trains, even it will crash airplanes, and a lot of casualties. So everybody has benefit. Everyone in the world has benefit to fight this terrorism. Even the cyber terrorism will be more casualties, less identifies the criminals, less expenses. Effects is very wide and very spreading, with the more implementing the AI and the machine learning, and the how to use AI to control everything, everything in our life. And also the IoT will come by the self-driving cars, self-driving metros, self-driving trains, we will see a lot of very severe waves of terrorism by the internet or by the information systems.
That brings us to the end of today's session. Thank you, Doctor. I thank you on the behalf of World Cybersecurity Forum and SCC Online for such an incomparably enriching experience. You have been provided with a feedback form in the chat box. Kindly refer to it, and please note that only if you fill the feedback form will you be provided with the certificates. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Everyone to please fulfill their feedback forms, and you would be given the certificates only in the event of you fulfilling the requirement of filling the feedback form. I would also like to bring it to everyone's notice that the presentation as well as the entire lecture is already uploaded on YouTube for your perusal.